This video will show you how to test your sales message on real customers, find out which parts work best, and also to compare different wordings. Think of this like Google Analytics for words. The goal is to create a sales message that makes your prospects think, wow, this is exactly what I need. To do this, we need to identify what to say and how to say it, and that can only be done by testing people's response. Insight Engine does this by showing people expandable summaries. When somebody expands something, it's literally like saying, tell me more. Each click is like a vote. So here is an example of what the visitor sees. This is full of dummy text, but you get the idea. They see a bunch of content and expand what they find interesting. On the analytics side, we get a table like this. These green boxes show how popular each part of the message was. In other words, what do customers actually care about? Now, you've probably noticed that these bars are split up. This is showing you the increase from testing different headline variations. This split shows the worst, average, and then here the best variation. If we click on any one of these, we can see how each wording performed. The important number here is click-through rate, or CTR. This shows the percentage of people who choose to expand each variation. The impressions column shows how big the sample size is to let you know whether the test is statistically valid. So you can see this percentage of this many people expanded each variation. If we go back to the main table, the important information is the same. Click-through rate, or CTR, is the most important, as impressions is the sample size. Duration is less important. This is how long, on average, people kept the content expanded. So, to create a very persuasive sales message, there are 3 steps. Step 1. We need to load up the content. This is pretty simple. There's a web-based tool and you type it in, and you simply add the extra headlines you want to test. Step 2. We need to embed the test. So you need a web page or a blog post to house the content. The embed itself is as simple as copying and pasting a code snippet, but this can require some styling. Step 3. We need your potential customers to see the content. Sometimes just being on the blog or website is enough, but sometimes you might need to send people there, for example, from an email to your list or a link from somewhere else. Once you know what works, you just focus on the parts of your message that your customers really care about, and you use the best wordings for each one. You should apply the improvements to all your marketing materials, and you really should train your sales staff. Let me just clarify a few things. This is not regular split testing. Normally, split testing text is very hard. This is because you need to send thousands of people to a test and then work out whether the entire variation caused more sales. It's just not practical, which is why nobody does it. Insight Engine works a lot more like split testing an email subject line. People either click or they don't, directly on the text being tested. But unlike testing an email subject line, you get to test a whole bunch of content and wordings on one page, and you can test text in a much more natural context. The point is, you get meaningful results from a relatively small number of visitors. Next, this is designed to replace surveys and focus groups, sometimes. There are 2 problems with surveys and focus groups. Firstly, you need to beg or pay enough people to participate. This is massive. With Insight Engine, you get a similar level of information from somebody simply browsing a page. Secondly, people famously tell you what you want to hear, or what they think the right answer is. So a focus group would probably tell you that the most important thing about a meal is that it's sustainably sourced, natural, and healthy, when they actually buy fast food. This is why we believe in testing what people really respond to, instead of what they say they would respond to. There are 2 ways you can start using Insight Engine in your business. If you have web and copywriting skills on your team, just sign up for a free trial to start using the software immediately. You get your first 100 responses for free. Alternatively, we employ some very good marketers as consultants. We can do the whole thing for you, and at the end, we guarantee a higher converting sales message if you test it against the old one. We will also run training for your sales and marketing staff on the results and what they mean. Either way, the next step is on you. You need to get the ball rolling by contacting us through insightengine.info.